So we've been talking about girl math, boy math. Leave all that alone. Let's get into African parents math. If you get a B on something, you failed. If you're not first in your class, you're last.
African math is buying land, sending money monthly to build a house, and then when you finally go see the house, somebody else owns that land and the house that's on the land that you've been paying for the last 10 years.
Guys, African parents are too funny. So basically...
I'm glad you're watching. This African math will just make you laugh. When I was watching this, when I was listening and compiling on these TikTok videos to make you laugh, to make you enjoy your time, to make you not scroll up and down looking for videos to make the day for you. So when I was doing all that, when I was doing that, I laughed. I really watched all these clips and I laughed. I will give my contribution at the end of the video. I will let you enjoy the video.
Look, are you not listening? Look, there are 2 bananas too.
Y'all, growing up in an African household is a phenomenon I wish more people experience. Like, there's just certain rules and regulations that you grow up learning and you're like, what? For example, if you had fun yesterday, you cannot have fun today. Like,
African math is sending millions back home to build a mansion that you only go back to once a year. And when you go once a year, you only spend just 1 week or 2 weeks. Then you come back to your hustle.
African math is being invited to a wedding at 6 o'clock and now it's 7:30. And we're probably going to show up like 2 hours late because that's the time that you're supposed to show up, even though the invitation card says 6 p.m. So I'm not really late. I'm going to be on time. That is African math for you.
African parent math is taking your kids to your friend's house for hours after church, and they're not allowed to eat at that friend's house. Make it make sense. African math is telling your kids that there's rice at home because you don't have enough money, but you're sending every paycheck back home to relatives to buy whatever they want. African math is just being mad at your kid for no goddamn reason, just because you woke up and yeah. That's my African math. Let me know what your thoughts are.
What's black math? Okay, so when I say that happened the other day could mean like 3 months ago or 6 months ago. 3 to 6 months ago. We gonna say that. Or okay, when you laughing and you supposed to be sick. Oh, you not sick no more. Girl, I'm just laughing. What you mean? I can't be funny? What? If I see more than one police out, oh, y'all be safe out there driving. They out today. Yeah, but they out today. They must be trying to hit their quota. Yeah.
if you're not first in your class, you're last. If you got a 95 on a test, that means you could have gone the other 5. If you throw away leftovers, you're showing God disrespect. If you're sick and you smile, that means you're cured.
You can't ever have a boyfriend, but you're expected to have a husband at 25.
Let me hold your money for you.
Don't eat at your relative's place, like uncle, auntie, friend. Like, if you go there, don't eat. African parent math.
They go to party until 5 a.m. in the morning, but when we do it, it's a problem.
African parent math. If they have the remote in front of them, they'll call you from upstairs or from outside to come pick up the remote that is right in front of them for you. Hey, stuttering is a disease.
Tattoos plus piercings equals to cultism and criminal activity. Full stop. Waist beads equals to prostitution. African parent math is how all of our parents got first position in school. It's not possible. Study.
Let me insert something. This African parent always being the first in school, so you wonder, were they all the first in school? So I realized that this one is so much repeated. And also remember, my parent told me the same thing. They were always the first in school, and they would never get like bad misbehaved in school. So they had good attitude all put together. They would never get in troubles because they are so respectful. So in the next clip, we'll be seeing how different people from different countries in Africa view the African math. And you realize that some of these things, they relate to each other, even though they're from different geographical areas. Let me say, should I say geographical areas? we are all in Africa, but very far from each other. But they have met in a university, and here this girl is asking them, what's African math for you? And you will see, like, it's all relatable to all what they're going through. And even white people came to understand. Those who are close to African, they understand how this African math is really confusing. It's confusing. So you mean this, your parents mean this. And if you've not watched my previous video, you'll come to understand even the conflict of generation that even goes to the point that parents and children don't come together to a common ground where they understand each other, even culturally, and understand these cultural differences. You'll get to understand that this African math makes a lot of sense when we try to view in the way that us as children view the world, millennial and this other generation, Gen Z, compared to the other generation. Like, how do they view the world? There's something there that is clashing, and it's bringing a lot of confrontation. Let me let you enjoy this video.
It's free.
It's here. Okay, hi Carrie. We just have a few questions for you, okay? Where are you from?
Cameroon.
Cameroon, okay. What is African math to you?
If you leave your house to play with your friends and come back to drink water, you're not living anymore.
What?
Jeremy.
Where are you from?
IT.
Okay. So, what is black math to you?
Remember once I was like maybe 7.
Okay.
I was running in the mall, and then my mom was fed up of running after me. She pulled me, fucking pinched me, and she was looking at me. She was like, "Don't say shit."
Traumatized, guys. Thank you very much. Let's find someone else, guys. Hi. What's your name? Leslie. Where are you from? Cameroon. Pull up, third person. What is black girl math to you?
Black girl math is dedicating an entire day just to wash your hair. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Danny.
Danny, where are you from?
I'm from Burundi.
Hey, pull up. Sorry, because I'm Rwandese, that's why. Anyways, what is African math to you?
Well, African math to me is asking my parents to go out and, not going out at all because... she had a dream or maybe just a change of mind,
A dream, guys. A dream. No, it always happens. Y'all know.
Indeed.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Aiden.
Aiden, where you from?
I'm Congolese.
Hey, wait, Kinshasa or Brazzaville?
Kinshasa.
Hey, that's where it is. Okay, I have a question for you. What is African math to you?
Well, to be honest, saying that you're gonna be there at 6, we only get in there at like 9 p.m.
Honestly. Hi, my name is Iman. What's your name? Gigi. Gigi, where you from? Haiti. Okay. I have a question for you, okay? Tell me, what is black girl math to you?
Thinking of your next hairstyle while getting your current hairstyle done.
That's a good one.
Hi, how are you?
What's your name?
I'm Bobby.
Where are you from, Bobby?
I'm from Barbados.
Barbados? What is black math to you?
That's a good question. I feel like, when your parents tell you to do something, like, by the end of the day, they meant, like, right now. I mean,
can you give me an example?
Like, my dad used to ask me, like, can you get the lawn mowed today? I'd be like, sure. It'd be, like, noon, and he's like, why isn't it done yet?
Black people math is turning on the lights to hear better. Black people math is turning on the lights to hear better. Or turning down the music in the car to find the right house. Yo, why are we like this? He said, sorry, I can't see when it's loud. I can't. This one is facts. If you're within 10 to 15 minutes of your destination, you're close enough to tell folks you're pulling up right now. What else would you tell them? Like, hello? Black math is filling up an almost empty dish soap container with water to make more dish soap. And to be honest, I did this with shampoo too. Like, we're gonna get our money's worth here. Y'all, you know what? If black math has taught me anything, it's that we are all living the same life. And I love that for us.
What is black math?
Black math is believing that seasoning doesn't expire. Black math is baking everything on 350. Black math is having god cousins. Black math is being late for absolutely everything except for your flight. Black math is claiming that you are on a diet, but you continue to eat absolutely all of the same things, just add salad on the side.
African math is calling everybody a witch, even though we're no longer in the Crusades. African math is having a party and asking every single person to purchase fabric so that everyone can look the exact same. African math is coming to America thinking that this is the land of the prosperous, only to find out that you still have to work. African math is sending money back home only to be working overtime in the States.
African math is having your fridge and pantries empty, but boxes and barrels full of food that you just grocery shop, your hard-earned money, and sending it back home for people who are allergic to half the stuff in the box.
African math is your parents always comparing you to another child, of a neighbor, a friend, or a relative, knowing very well you weren't raised in the same circumstances nor environment as they were. African math is people looking at you like you're a proud person simply because you're more learned than they are. African math is a mother-in-law expecting a daughter-in-law to take care of her simply because she's old or sickly when she has daughters of her own. African math is a mother-in-law actually treating her daughter-in-law very terribly and believing that her daughters will be treated like princesses when they get married in their specific homes. African math is people assuming you're a proud person simply because you're more learned or more intelligent than they are. African math is when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to post pictures or even tell people that you're pregnant except for your first family because they will bewitch your child while it is still in your womb. And moreover, African math is also that when you give birth, you're not supposed to post photos of the child when they're small. Just post part of the baby, the hand, the legs, the toes, the cheek, not a full photo, so that they can try and join the photos and see the exact baby. They're supposed to be posted when they're above 1 year, so that again the evil eye does not bewitch them. African math is people assuming that you have or you make more money simply because you work abroad. African math is parents assuming you have money by the things you have in your household. Let me give you a heads up. Always lie about the things in your house. Lie on the lower side. It will favor you. African math, parents expecting their children to actually speak up and open up about things that bother them, when in previous occasions when they did that, they were actually insulted or beaten when worse came to worse. African math is parents expecting you to take care of the second or third or fourth born simply because you're the firstborn, despite them being very much alive, healthy, and even worse, working. African math is parents scolding, beating, and insulting you left, right, and center, from school to the house, upon every slight mistake. And then when you grow into an adult, they ask you, why do you have self-esteem issues? Why are you not confident? And lastly, African math is parents wanting you to do for them what they couldn't do for themselves. Welcome to Africa.
What I'm learning from this is, even though we lived from different eras as Africans, but we still struggle with the same thing. We all have the same African math. So I don't know, why did the parents meet, or what was going on? Why do they behave the same way? African parents, what's wrong? African math.
African math is somebody asking you how many siblings you have, and you have to count all the siblings that you have between your parents and the children that your father had outside of wedlock. African math is having nieces and nephews that are older than you.
What is black math? Somebody said when one of the kids breaks something, all of them get an ass whooping. You better get the switch. Somebody said my youngest sibling is 3 and she already an auntie. You gain some weight equals a greeting. We got black mom math too. Ordering food equal apologizing. Black math is using a house key and your mama is somehow equating that to someone being able to just walk in your house. Buying your kids a size 4 shoe instead of a size 3 because they'll grow into it. Anything over $70 is basically 100. An event that starts at 10 a.m. ends up starting at 5 p.m. Somebody said as soon as you get hired, you start calculating that first paycheck. Somebody said my uncle being younger than me. Black math is if 6 of y'all went out.
Then 4 of you were really cheap. Yeah. Cause only 2 of you had dinner. I found your credit card receipt.
African math is having family members ask you for money while you're in varsity when they know damn well that you're going to school and are not making any money. You don't have a job. African math is having random family members ask if you remember them, but the last time they saw you was at your parents' funeral and you were like 6.
African math is when they call your child beautiful or handsome because he or she is light-skinned, and then call them ugly because he or she is dark-skinned. African math is sending millions back home to build a mansion that you only go back to once a year. And when you go once a year, you only spend just 1 week or 2 weeks. Then you come back to your hustle. African math is calling people who speak English with a British or American accent intelligent. While calling people who speak English with an African accent olodos or dumb. African math is schools asking children who are mixed race not to cut their hair because their hair is beautiful or nice, and then asking typical African kids to cut their hair as part of the school rules. African math is calling the native African dialect vernacular and banning it in schools. African math is beating your children black blue to almost the point of death and then calling it discipline. African math is women rejecting African men back home and saying that they have nothing or they are not up to their standard, and they're moving abroad to marry a white man who sleeps in his sitting room without a bed. African math is when African men want to marry African women. They go to their village and they ask around. They want to know if she has mental issues, if she has any issues. When the parents do all those their FBI jobs before they marry the girl. They even ask the girl to cook and clean so they'll know if she can take care of their son. But when it's a white woman that he wants to marry, nobody does due diligence. They just bring her and they are happy. And they even stop her from cleaning and cooking. When she goes to the kitchen, they'll be like, no, don't touch that, don't touch that.
African math is having such a huge age difference between you and your siblings that people just assume they're your parent instead of your sibling. African math is your family members asking you when you're getting married when they told you your entire life to stay away from boys.
Such an African way of doing math. If I go to the shop and I buy 2 bananas, I then go and buy 1 bag of apples. Five of them. Yeah, 5 of them. How many fruits have I bought now together with my own money? And you know when you get it wrong, I said, how many fruits? Are you not listening? Look, there are 2 bananas too.
I don't need to stop at this point. I'm so glad that you spent your precious time to watch my video. I'm so glad that you tuned in. Let me stop here because the list continues and I've not said my African math because I feel like this video will be much longer than I expected. But I will make sure I say my African math because mine is worst.